Gave him full side strain and eventually give up trying and moved out into open water. We're all safe now. I don't know how big he is, but one thing I can guarantee he's going to be bigger than the one I caught this morning on a zig. I spoke to my mate who runs the lake and he said that was probably the smallest stocky they put in the lake that I caught this morning, so the smallest carp in here. But this one's a better one. He's a nice one. Whoa. Come on, baby, this time straight in. We got him. Oh, he's a good one. Oh yeah, he's a good one. 32. So here we are, a Yateley 30. I'm well chuffed with this. I was getting a little bit twitchy actually, if the truth be known, but all came good in the end. Look at him, lovely fish. There he is. There he is. Oh, he's got a nice fish, isn't he? Nice dark fish on top. Look at the distance between his eyes there. He's going to be a big one, I reckon. A massive great head. Lovely carp. Certainly made my day. Thank you. Right, let's slide him back. Oh, it's nice when you have to grunt and groan to lift them up. Proper one. These slings are great for returning fish, so it makes it so easy because they float. Well, same as one yesterday. Before I'd even put a hand on it, he's gone. As soon as you undo the zip at the front, they can just swim straight out. Well, it's last knockings on the Pads Lake. I had that lovely 32 earlier, which sort of saved the day a little bit, to be honest. But since then, I've heard about 3 or maybe 4 fish turn over at the same area up against a little bush. I've got sort of overhanging bush on the far bank there, where I had the 32 from. So I'm quite confident that something's going to go on tonight. I can't see that sitting out there without a pickup. I've got a couple of other rigs out in front of me where I saw fish this morning in the same swim. I've got one on the bottom and I've left one on the zig for the night, although I've not had a lot of action in the past on zigs at night. If it doesn't go in the night, at least it's there for first light. So I think, yeah, definitely one of the 3 rods is going to rip off tonight. A great big mid-30 hopefully. Cap it all off nicely. Yeah, it's looking good, definitely. Well, I finally joined the onesie revolution. I must be the last person alive that hasn't got one.
but I like them. They're well comfortable. Especially like this morning, it's a bit chilly, got an easterly wind coming in. Actually slept in it last night and try it out, and yeah, I was well impressed. It's nice, keeps all the drafts out, stops anything getting in around your back and that, you get those gaps between your top and your trousers. Nice and comfy, nicely lined. I like it. Nice little hood as well. Rest of my family will be proud of me now, and join in. Okay, I'm just going to run through a couple of the rigs I've been using over this session, and over the last few months really as well. First of all, this is the Snowman rig. Sort of a bit new to me really. I started using it at the beginning of the winter, sort of about 4 or 5 months ago. I've caught a stack of fish this year on a Snowman rig. I'm not sure what it is about it. I think with the bigger double bait they might find it harder to eject. I was never really a fan of it in the past, but I have caught a lot of fish on it and complete Snowman convert now. So just go through the finer points of it. Obviously a long hair to take both baits. I've got pop up on the top, and I've got an air dried bottom bait which I've re-dipped, so I sort of dry them out in the airing cupboard for 12-14 hours and then soak them in a bit of dip so they go a lot firmer, because what can happen with a Snowman rig is the hair can cut through the bottom bait after a few casts, but if you've got an air dried bait obviously it's going to last a lot longer. On the hook here I've got a little tiny liner, and when I buy these they've got a return on the end which I snip off because I want the hook link to come off the bend there at sort of 45 degrees. You see it's that sort of angle, and that'll just help the hook to flip over every time when it comes in contact with the bottom lip. And you've got that extra weight of 2 baits on ejection, and what I do is have quite a hair there, quite a distance you can see between the hook and the bottom of the bait, and that allows it once it's pricked and it's blown out to fold over, and I think it's that force that makes the rig such a good rig. On ejection it can separate quite away from the hook and actually pull the hook back in, rather than if that was a tight hair it's going to take the hook bend first out of the mouth. So that's my little Snowman rig. Easy to tie, it's just under there, it's just a simple no knot. Nice sharp hook with an in-turn point. Couldn't be easier. Very, very effective. The hook link I use for this is a coated braid, just, you know, a brand that you've got confidence in really. And what I do is I measure from the tip of my finger to the top of my hand for the strip section, and then when that's looped and tied that gives me that length of hair and leaves probably 10-12 mil of strip back hook link there before you hit the coated section, and obviously that just gives it that extra supple movement to turn over. And for length of hook link I'll use something around 8 inches I suppose. Well, I just repositioned this rod down in a little snaggy bay round to my left there. I've been out there about 10 minutes, and away it's gone. It's not a big one, but it's a very welcome one. It's a little common. Lively little one though. Thing is, it had been round there on another spot all night without a beep. I only moved it a few yards and away it went. Get in. There he is. And there he is. Nice little common. Practically stalked at the trap set, but it was right in the edge, just down along these bushes. I did actually spook a fish as I was lowering the rig in. See some big boils come up to the surface, so I knew there was a couple about. There we go. Not quite the monster of last night, but that's a good start to the morning. Last day today as well, so this is full fish now. Which ain't bad for a couple of nights on a lake like this. It's not exactly a run to water, it's you've got to work for them, but they're all worth it when you get them. Right, let's slide him back. There he goes.
Right, Dave, looks like a 2-man bivvy, but there's a little bit more to it than that, isn't there?
Yeah, this is a Scout 2-man bivvy. It's a heavy duty nylon material. Got your rod retainers, it's a pyramid system, so it goes up really quick. Tension bars, in fact it's got everything that you'd expect on a sort of top of the range bivvy, but price wise it's incredibly well priced. You know, it really is for what you get. It's got this, which I particularly like, rather than a full cover for the mosquito door. It's just got the hatch on the top.
Oh, okay, so it's like a half panel.
Yeah, it'd be handy if it's sort of lightly raining. You don't want it splashing up through the mesh, but you want to sit in there instead of a bit of protection, but obviously still be able to see out.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
and obviously the full door, and I noticed that you've got 2 mozzie windows as well with the complete panels.
Well, that helps a lot with the breathability of it. Obviously, if it does warm up like it is now, it can get quite hot inside.
Heavy duty ground sheet?
Yeah, it's a very nice ground sheet.
Makes a change from the kind of ground sheet you'd normally get on a bivvy in this price range.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, usually they come with the sort of crisp packet type ground sheet, but this is actually a very thick, proper heavy duty ground sheet. It's all fitted and velcros right in all the way around.
I know there's plenty of pegging points, and obviously with the Pramod design, it's nice and sturdy as well, isn't it?
Solid.
I mean,
yeah,
it's the sturdiest design on the market, isn't it? This style
without
of bivvy.
doubt. Yeah. If you've got the Pramod design and the stabiliser bars, it's never going anywhere. I mean, that is rock solid.
Excellent, nice bit of kit and nice price as well.
It is, yeah. And like I say, for the money, you're getting everything that you get on the top of the range shelter. 2 bed chairs fit in there. So, yeah, very nice bit of kit.
Nice.
And as you can see, once you're inside, it's incredibly spacious. Plenty of room for 2 bed chairs in there. And the way the back falls down quite sharply, obviously you can get stuff right to the back of the bivvy. A little window at the back there as well, which you can go out and reveal, just lets a little bit more air come through, keeps it cool. And the whole main front door zips down so you can have it pillbox style like that. So if you have got rain coming at you and you want to just sit there and look out, you can adjust that however you like. Another nice feature of this bivvy is the whole front just rolls away, and because of the tension bars, it doesn't rely on being pegged out the front for the stability. So you've still got a nice sturdy shelter, you've got that fantastic view of the lake with no front there, and you've got plenty of room at the back here for a bed chair and all your kit for day sessions or even quick overnighters.
Right, Dave, I know you're a bit of a fan of this bed chair. Talk me through it.
Yeah, well, I actually had this one made because of the problems, as you know, I got with my back. I've got quite a bad back through spending too many years in one of these, I think, and pushing barrows around and what have you. And I wanted something that was very, very comfortable but flat. That was my main thing. So we've had this made. As you can see, it's got no hand wheels.
Right. It's a thick old mattress on there.
It is, yeah. Both ends come down completely flat, so you don't get that bit digging in you. It's got 4 sets of legs, which is well handy, especially if you've got people pop round, you know what happens, they sit on the end of the bed chair and the next thing you've got a bent frame or it tips up or whatever. So yeah, it's a very, very sturdy design, completely flat, which suits me down to the ground. The topping. The mattress is incredibly thick. It's a removable mattress, you can see there. As you can see, that memory foam on there's really nice and thick and comfortable. And this removes, you know, if for some reason, you know, maybe you were doing a short session and you didn't want the extra weight, but generally I'd use it all the time. But it is handy because you can take it out and air it.
Right, yeah.
The sides are also covered with the same thickness of padding all the way around. So your frames, you know, you're not even going to feel your frame if you roll over in the night. Maybe your arms out the side there. You're not going to wake up.
And like you said, you haven't got that hand wheel sticking up, making that go like that.
And, you know, it's like when you sit sideways on a bed chair, you've got to allow for that. You're not always in the position you want to be in. But no, so it's completely flat. And like I said, the mattress is the main thing. It's fantastic to sleep on. It is so comfortable. It's unbelievable.
So obviously it's your own design, but now it's available for everybody, so they can have that comfort. And it really does make that much difference.
It does make that much difference,
Brilliant.
Yeah, I sleep fantastic on it. Too well sometimes. When you want to be up at first light and you're in there and you think, oh, I don't want to get out. Another half an hour. But no, I'm very, very pleased with this.
Nice.
Something else that's become very, very popular over the last few years, maggots, especially in the colder water throughout the winter and early part of spring. They can be really effective bait if fished properly. Obviously once the carp get down on millions of little grubs like that, you know, they can get almost preoccupied on them. But obviously you need a decent rig and a simple rig to go with it. A lot of the maggot rigs I've seen are quite complicated with needle and cotton, and you know, rebaiting them obviously the hardest bit. If you've got to cut it all off and then start again and thread a load more maggots. So I've got a nice little rig I want to show you. It's very, very simple and easy to rebait. First of all, I strip back some coated braid. Again, sort of half a hand's length of strip back. And then I tie on a very fine wire small hook. And this, I get these, I think Partridge make them. They're from the trout section of the tackle shop. And what you're looking for a hook with the longest point possible. And that'll become apparent why in a minute. But the longer the actual point, the further that goes down level with the shank, the more effective that's going to be. So you just tie that on. If it's got a barb on it, crush the barb. Then you take a piece of plastic corn and go in through the bottom of it, right in the middle, and come out right across on one corner. So you're going in at a 45-degree angle. Thread that down. Pull that home. And then what will happen, because you've gone in at that angle, there's room there for the hook point to sit back into the corn. Like that. And this is why you need a long point on the hook. So when that point tucks in there, obviously that's the beauty of the longer point, because it leaves you more of a loop at the top so you can get more maggots on it. If you had a shorter point, obviously by the time that pulls home, that's not going to leave you enough for the movement of the maggots. So that's just perfect like that. And then I just whip my hook on, no knot my hook. So you've still got a little bit of strip back there. And just leave that just above the bend of the hook so that you've got a little bit of separation there. And then I get a little liner. I don't like the return on the end of these ones, so I just clip that off. Slide that on there. Pop that sort of halfway down the hook. That just kicks it out of that nice little angle. And then it's just a case of pulling out the hook, sliding your maggots around there, popping it back in. And there we go. That's the finished article. Already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maggots on the top there. Doesn't matter how many, but you can comfortably get 6, 7, 8 maggots on the top, wriggling around nicely. And that's not going to actually sort of pop up. It won't need any balance weight, any counterbalance. You know, it's just going to sit on the bottom. The corn is going to take some of the weight out of the hook. And that'll just sort of present like that nicely on the bottom. I usually add a little PVA bag to it at the end as well. Okay, so using the smaller PVA tubes. Now, most people with PVA bags and maggot bags go for a compact, tight sort of packet of maggots, where I do completely the opposite. I just find it casts a lot better, and I just like the way it behaves. If I just have a long, soft, stringy bag that behaves like the hook link in flight, what I do, I just twist the end of that, and pop it through the ring swivel on there before tying it off. Just tie that off there, just a half turn. Trim off the excess. And being careful not to stab a maggot and melt the bag. Just nick through the end of the bag there. And there we go. All ready to chuck out. A bit quick for them maggots to escape.
Dave, wow. that is a big bed chair.
It is. It's a giant. Well, that's what it's called. It's the giant, chill out giant bed chair. Going along with the trend it seems to be now for bigger and wider and more comfortable beds, and why not really? Yeah, obviously it's perfect for larger anglers, but it's not only larger anglers buying wide beds now. You know, if you want a proper bit of comfort.
No, I mean I'm only 9 stone myself, obviously, and I've got a wider bed chair. Yeah, and but you do get just an amazing amount of extra comfort from it.
Of course you do. You can sort of roll around, rotate it. You know, you don't feel enclosed at all. But no, it is a big wide bed chair, fully sprung mattress all the way around. Nice big thick padding over the frame and the hand wheel, which is very important. You don't want that lumpy bit digging in you. Mind you,
although you very rarely get close to that on a bed chair this size.
Get to the edges on this. It's got a nice inbuilt pillow as well. 4 sets of fully adjustable legs and these nice big any position mud feet. So you can get it flat and level on any ground.
Which again is really important. You know, there's nothing worse than having your bed chair on a slope.
Absolutely.
Because you know, you might not think it's a big deal, but you don't get a great night's sleep.
No, you don't. No, not at all.
And this is a welly wipe as well. You know.
Yeah.
Keep it all nice and clean if you're lying on it with your boots on.
And it is very robust. You know, like I say, with you know, you've got 8 of these great big mud feet on there. And once you've got it levelled out, it's solid. It's not going to matter where you sit on it. You can sit right at the ends. You know, and have other people sit, maybe 2 or 3 of you in the evening if you sat there watching the water, having a cup of tea or a beer or whatever.
I noticed as well when we brought it over here, it's actually quite light for the size of it.
It's incredibly light.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, you look at something of that size and you think, oh, that's going to weigh a bit. It doesn't. It weighs hardly anything. It's very, very light for the size of it.
And especially compared to some of them on the market, it's actually excellent value as well for me.
It is, yeah. Price-wise, it's very good for what you get. You know, you're getting a massive bed. Spot on.
It's on the money, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
One tight to that
right
tree line.
Under the trees, yeah.
Is that a different rod from before?
It is, yeah. These are the Deltas. They're lovely rods, actually. They're good for that sort of thing, for accuracy, you know, good bit of accuracy casting, because although they're quite a forgiving rod for playing fish on, they're quite tippy, they're quite fast action.
Right.
You know, and again, that gives you that, like I said, but the others gives you that little flick at the end and helps with your accuracy rather than bouncing about. But they've got good playing action. They sort of beef up, sort of down by this guide, down through this middle section. So, you know, they're good for big fish of any size really. But you've got that power that you sort of lack in some rods, you know,
Right.
when you get a big fish in close.
Backbone, I think
Yeah,
they call it, don't
yeah,
they?
you can give them a bit of stick.
Yeah.